Joe used to tell people that the moon landing was faked, and people would be like, Joe, that sounds like a conspiracy so large they couldn't possibly keep it a secret. And Joe would be like, I know they couldn't keep it a secret. I just told you about it. Joe also believes in something equally outlandish, which is the don't say bill down in Florida.
Like this don't say gay thing in Florida. When I heard that, I was like, what? What are they saying? You can't say gay? Is that really what's going on? It turns out that's not what it is. Yeah. It's not what it is at all. What it is ages... It's first through third grade. They're saying you're not supposed...
Actually, the bill has a little loophole in it that allows them to expand it to 12th grade. Which makes a lot more sense. I mean, kids in kindergarten aren't learning gender studies in between coloring and nap time. So when Joe says 7 years old, what he really means is 17 years old.
To talk about sexual orientation, gender orientation, or sexual proclivity, or you know what you're interested in. Yeah. They said you should just teach math and science and history to...
Not so fast, history. I have a feeling Joe's got a problem with you too.
Little kids.
Yeah, just let the toddlers be toddlers, and then you can start ramping up your instruction.
You know, and people are opposed to that. But it's like, listen, your teachers are not supposed to be the people that explain gender.
Yeah, teachers are not supposed to be the ones to explain things. That should be the job of podcasters.
To a fucking 7-year-old.
Yeah.
It's just, and who are these teachers? And how do you know what their perspective is?
Are they willing to sign a loyalty oath swearing that they will remain straight white males while teaching?
Are they intelligent about it? Are they trying to indoctrinate the child to any particular point of view, whether it's pro-transgender or anti-transgender or anti-gay or pro-gay? They shouldn't have any say at all when you're talking to a 7-year-old kid.
17.
I mean, I feel like that is the job of the parents.
Yeah.
That's the argument they used to use for abstinence-only education during the Bush years. Abstinence-only education increased unwanted pregnancies and STDs. But when it comes to sex education, Joe is a school of hard knocks guy. More like school of hard cocks, am I right? You knew I was going to say that. I know that you knew I was going to say that.
It's the job. I mean,
and you hope the parents are doing it, but
when kids get older and they develop feelings for either the same sex or opposite sex, or they feel like they're in the wrong body, then these conversations should be had by qualified people that can discuss this from a nuanced perspective.
He literally just got done saying that those things should not be taught by qualified experts. He literally just got done saying that that's the job of parents. He can't last 10 seconds without contradicting himself. Is this dude even trying at this point?
And understand what the psychology of a young person who's trying to figure out who they are in the world is. But the idea that this is don't say gay, right, because you're saying that ages first grade to third grade, that you shouldn't be bringing up these subjects to them. I think a lot of people are saying, no, I just don't want you grooming my kids for...
He doesn't want people grooming his kids. The last time I heard that argument was last night, actually. You might think it's old-fashioned, but I literally heard it last night while watching a documentary from 1984 about Harvey Milk, who was fighting the Briggs Initiative. Harvey Milk was the first openly... Sorry, pause. Hold on. Harvey Milk was the first openly politician in America. He fought the Briggs Initiative, and the Briggs Initiative was an attempt to pass a law that outlawed openly people from becoming teachers. And the argument they used was that those teachers would groom children into the lifestyle. Now, when somebody uses an argument that's over 40 years old, it's safe to assume that they're a reactionary. So when somebody calls old Joe a reactionary or even a fascist, could we not call that outlandish or politically incorrect, please? My first instinct when I hear somebody who hates people is I assume that they themselves are. I mean, that's what the science says, right? Look at Vladimir Putin. You can't just assume that Vladimir Putin is just because he hates people. But I like to combine them with things. For example, if you hate people and you're also into, like, say, I don't know, Liza Minnelli or artisanal leg warmers, then you yourself might be. Vladimir Putin hates people. And also, Vladimir Putin likes to pose on horseback with his shirt off like he's Fabio. So I always kind of assume that he really identifies with Dumbledore. Let me think here. Who else is another example? Mike Pence. Mike Pence hates people. And also, his wife is really ugly. So I just assume that Mike Pence is secretly. Now, I remember this guy I used to work with. Nice guy, but he did not like people. And he once told me that, this was about 10 years ago, we were arguing gay marriage, and he said to me, you know, if we allow people to get married, then that will normalize the lifestyle, and in turn, then next thing you know, they start becoming judges and lawyers, and then they lock away all the women because, in his mind, men secretly wanted to be women. Now, that's one of those point of views that you can't argue, that you can only laugh at. Not to keep from crying, just because it's hilarious. Now, was that guy, just because he hated people, does that mean he himself was? I don't think so. But if he hated people, and he also was, say, into, like, watching sweaty dudes in cages wrestling around on the ground, I might have to assume that he's